Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. So, I've been hearing this lately that LeBron James is about to catch Michael Jordan for 30-point games finally after 22 seasons, right? And I thought that LeBron had passed Michael Jordan in 30-point games. I thought he passed him last year, but I guess I was thinking about something else. I'm not sure. Was that the playoffs 30-point games? I'm not sure, but I know that LeBron hasn't passed Michael Jordan for 40 and 50-point games when LeBron was 38, 39, and now that he's 39 and 40. And some people will say, oh, LeBron had more 30-point games and 40-point games than Michael Jordan when LeBron was 38 years old. Well, that was 37, 38. But if we go back and look at it, and because these guys, they change age during the season, both of them. I think Michael Jordan's birthday is in, if I'm not mistaken, is it in January? And LeBron's birthday is in December. It's something like that. So that's what I look at. You know what I'm saying? When we look at Michael Jordan that played at 38, 39, and Michael Jordan that played at 39, 40, and LeBron that played at 38, 39, and LeBron is now playing at 39, 40. Michael Jordan had more 40-point games at 38, 39, and more 40-point games at 38, more 50-point games at 38, 39. And so far, it looks like Michael Jordan is going to have more 40-point games than LeBron James at 39, 40. I don't think LeBron, I'm not going to say that. I think Michael Jordan had like 3 to 4 40-point games at 39, 40. So far, LeBron has none. Michael Jordan had no 50-point games at 39, 40. But Michael Jordan, I think he had 2 50-point games at 38, 39, and like 4 at 38, 39. And LeBron had, I think he had 2 40-point games at 38, 39. So he's still not on Michael Jordan's level as far as great scoring at that same age. And the fact that Michael Jordan LeBron never had no 50-point games, like I said, at 38, 39. And I think Mike had like 2, and LeBron had 2 40-point games at 38, 39. I think Mike had like 3 or 4. But, you would think LeBron would have more in this soft, weak era, especially shooting all these threes. So let's look at this. It says offense, defense, and winning, right? NBA championships. Michael Jordan, 6, LeBron, 4. Finals record. Michael Jordan, 6-0, LeBron, 4-2. International record. Michael Jordan, 4-0, LeBron, 4-2. Now, people say, oh, Mike didn't win all those in the NBA. Well, this is international. This has really nothing to do with the NBA. This is just international games. We can't help it. LeBron didn't go to college or nothing like that. Some people say he was too dumb. I didn't say that, but when you're reading books upside down, let's keep going. When you just cuss all the time, when you talk, the guy don't seem too intelligent to me. Now, could he be acting this way, putting on a facade? I don't know. Because sometimes I think he's just playing the character. He's putting on a facade for his career. Because I don't think him and Kobe Bryant were like real good friends. I don't think Kobe Bryant would be good friends with an idiot. I think this is mostly the facade he puts on, right? LeBron, again, 4-2 in international games. And he basically he never won a gold medal without Durant, Kobe, or Curry. Now, you could say that about Curry, and you could say that about Kobe, but if it weren't for Kobe, they would not have won in 2008, right? That's what it took for them to finally win gold after losing these 2, right? 04 and 06 FIBA. And the funny part is, he was 3-2 until this latest Olympic win. And what's so funny about it is he should be normally the Olympic team, they will play in a FIBA the year before. The 23 team with Anthony Edwards, the fake Michael Jordan, they didn't even place, right? So that that team usually plays the next season in the Olympics. And LeBron rebuilt that team. So that was just a weird thing right there, right? That he didn't play in that FIBA, but he rebuilt the Olympic team. International gold. Well, we can update this. Michael Jordan 4 and LeBron 3. We're not just talking about the Olympics. We're talking about international play, period. So it says LeBron has 3 on here. It's really 4. In international bronze, Michael Jordan 0, LeBron 2. And maybe if he would have played in that 23 FIBA, maybe he would have had 3 bronze if they would have placed. Championships with 1 Hall of Fame teammate. Michael Jordan 3, LeBron 1. Championships with no All-Star teammate. Michael Jordan 2, LeBron 1. NBA defensive first team. Michael Jordan 9, LeBron 1. No, 5. I'm looking at something different. 5. Steals titles, LeBron 0, Michael Jordan 3. Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan 1, LeBron 0. 100 blocks in a season, Michael Jordan 2, LeBron 0. 200 steals, 200 plus steal seasons, LeBron 0, Michael Jordan 6. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 6 consecutive. 6 consecutive. So it wasn't like the man had 2 seasons in a row and then he stopped. Or 3 seasons in a row and then he stopped. And then skipped a season and then won one. No, 6 seasons plus. That's crazy. 6 seasons in a row. And even with that, he still only has 3 steals titles. That'll tell you how great the defense was back then. Scoring titles, Michael Jordan 10, LeBron 1. 3,000 point seasons. 3,000 points in one season. Michael Jordan 1 time, LeBron 0. 2,500 points in a season. Michael Jordan 6, LeBron 0. And I don't know for sure, but I think Michael Jordan had 6 straight seasons of that. 60-point games, Michael Jordan 4, LeBron 1. As far as I know, I think this was made in 2000, I want to say 23. So if LeBron had another 60-point game, let me know. 50-point games, Michael Jordan 31, LeBron 14. Let me know if LeBron had another 50-point game. I just can't remember. That would be hard for me to believe he had another 50-point game since then. 40-point games. Now, he might have had another 40-point game since then. I don't know. But at that time, Michael Jordan 173, LeBron 74. 30-point games. And this is updated. Michael Jordan 562, LeBron 558. And even if LeBron would have had 1 or 2 more 40-point games or 1 or 2 50-point games since last year when this was made, it still don't make no difference, folks. This is literally 13 seasons, 13 full seasons versus 20, well, we could say 21 full seasons. So that's what it is. Offense, defense, and winning. How is this guy even on Michael Jordan's level? It's not even comparable. I think we can do something closer with Kobe Bryant. I'm not for sure. We did one day, and I think Kobe was closer on the what is it, 60-point games, 50-point games, 40-point games, um, and stuff like that. The championships, he was closer in the finals records. He was just closer in a couple more metrics. Well, he won a couple more metrics, um, if you want to call them metrics, but he won a couple more comparisons than LeBron. LeBron didn't win nothing here. I think Kobe, with one All-Star teammate, Kobe won 3 championships. No, it might have been. Hold on, Paul Gasol. I think he won 5, right? Because Shaq was his only the All-Star teammate that he had, right? So it had to be 5 championships with one All-Star teammate. That I think that would be 5. And I think we put another one up on here when we was doing Kobe and Michael. I think it was top 75 teammates. I think it was championships uh with with a top 75 teammate, and Kobe won 2 without a top 75 teammate, and he won. What was it? 5? Was there any All Stars on that Lakers three-peat? Oh my goodness. Oh, I know what it was. Hall of Fame teammate right here. So Kobe with one Hall of Fame teammate. I think he won 4 because what's his name? Not Glenn Rice. It's the other guy, Mitch Richmond. He was on one of those teams. I think he was on a 2003. No, 2000 and I forget which one it was. I think it was 2001 or 2002. So Mitch Richmond was on that team. I don't know if you want to consider that a super team. I mean, Mitch was kind of old. But we can do that one again if you guys want me to. I don't know if you want me to do it again. But yeah, I just thought I would dig this up. Just because oh no, so this should be updated because LeBron did get two more 40-point games. I think he got 2 more 40-point games last year when he was 38-39. So his 40-point game should be 76, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it should be 76. But I don't think he got any 50-point games last year. Let me know if he did. It really doesn't make no difference. Mike is so far ahead of this guy in basically everything. This is what gets me the most. Not the 60-point games, the 50, the 40, or the 30. Is when I look at 2,500 points in a season. Mike did it 6 times. LeBron did it 0 times. Wow. That's just crazy. I mean, 2,500 points in a season. Michael Jordan did that 6 times. LeBron did it 0 times. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. And I guess for the haters, I guess we can put that steals title. I mean, assist title up here for LeBron James. He got that 1 assist title in the bubble season. I mean, he's always getting a lot of asterisk awards, whether it's the bubble championship, the bubble assist title. I don't know, the in season tournament. It just, he played nobody the whole time, and now that he had to play people this time in the in season tournament, he got exposed. It's ridiculous, man. Of course, he won the MVP, and Anthony Davis in that in season tournament championship game put up just these incredible stats. I mean, I just don't want to hear nothing, man. I mean, look, I might do a video, but I don't want to hear nothing later. And just like the media rolled on Diddy and all these people rolling on Diddy, all these claims were out a long time ago about Diddy being this bad guy, about how Diddy treated his artists, how Diddy was, doing a lot of sexual acts with other men. That's been out since the 2000s, man. This is nothing. That allegation with him and doing that stuff with male models and Usher and all this. This ain't nothing new, man. This has been out since the early 2000s. And why people just saying something about it now? This is ridiculous. So what I'm trying to say is, we don't want to really hear nothing about anything about LeBron when he retires, about any allegations from no NBA players that was around back then, no TV personality, not Stephen A. Smith, not Chris Broussard, not Nick Wright. We don't want to hear no backpedaling. We don't want to hear it. I heard something about what's his name, Amon Shepard, whatever his name is, that played for the Cavs on that super team. Now, look, man, I'm not taking nothing from none of these guys. He said something about Curry didn't ruin the league, but instead it was LeBron that ruined the league when he built that super team in Miami. And this is the same guy that played on the super team in Cleveland with LeBron James. Like, what are you saying? We've been saying this for years, bro. We've been saying this for years. All these NBA players and they podcasts out there, taking money. And, my channel is monetized because I want to really speak the truth and talk the truth and be real about what I say. So I don't have to sit there and watch what I say. Not like I'm going to say something like real crazy and cuss up a storm like LeBron James on his podcast and tell lies. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're out here telling real truth, you're going to get cut off. YouTube ain't going to let you get monetized. And I'm not trying to hate on the people who are, but what I'm trying to say is, these guys that want to speak up when other guys on YouTube have been saying this for a long time in their platforms and want to come out here and cut off other YouTubers from making money. This is ridiculous, man. We don't want to hear the truth from these guys because we've been spit everything that we've been spitting, and I hear a lot of people. I ain't gonna mention no names. A lot of people saying the same exact things that I've been saying for a long time, and guess what? They ain't gonna give me no credit for it. They ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, I heard Jordan versus LeBron say this first. Nope, they trying to take what I say and they're trying to reword it. No, I've been saying this stuff for a long time. And not just me, other YouTubers and stuff like that. But these NBA players who supposedly made tens of millions of dollars now want to come up on YouTube and cut off other YouTube channels, other YouTube platforms, and try to cut out their money when you guys are already supposed to be made tens of millions and hundreds of millions. So why are you on YouTube? You supposed to be retired. You supposed to be enjoying yourself. You ain't supposed to be in here gossiping. And they know because they played in the NBA, they're going to get the most views. Like Gilbert Arenas, what's he doing? Guy ain't doing nothing but causing a lot of confusion and basically lying. And then when he gets caught in the lie, he'll just stack another lie onto that. Talk in circles, make all kind of crazy voices and play this character. Man, these guys ain't nothing credible to listen to. It's so ridiculous. You got these young people trying to grow up and trying to learn the game, the history of the game, what the truth is, and these guys that supposedly already made $100 million in their career or more is supposed to have still tens of millions. They're up on here bringing all this confusion. They're up here telling all these lies and these half-truths and just keeping all this stuff going, basically for a 4-6 loser, a meltdown artist, a choke artist, a guy who lacks any, I said that. And now I hear people saying that now, who can't shoot the mid-range, who can't shoot free throws, who can't give you no paint work, right? Ain't a team leader, bunny hops team to team, builds super teams, ain't really got no skill set, except bear onto the lane. You could watch, man, I hear people saying this now, the exact words that I've been saying on all my videos for a long time. Now they want to say this. That's fine, whatever, it's cool. At least they're not, on the bandwagon of LeBron James. But I'm just saying, we don't want to hear from these NBA players. You should have been coming out and saying this. Who was this? Ryan Clark. Oh, well, LeBron doing it with his son. That's that kind of treatment he's getting. He's taking private jets and he's not going to away games. We've already said that, man. Where you been? These guys want to come out and say stuff that we've been saying and all this stuff. Charles Barkley says stuff like this all the time that we've been saying for a long time. I don't really care too much for Charles Barkley. This guy can't even finish a sentence. He'll go from one thing to another to another. It won't even finish nothing of what he's originally talking about. He'd be talking about 8 things at a time. You're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? and it's supposed to be like one of the best personalities on TV. Give me a break, bro. Great player, one of the all-time greats, to me better than LeBron James any day. But I see him all the time trying to come on. Now, Shaq coming on, talking about the three-point has ruined the game. And all. Of course, we've been saying this, man. We've been saying this years ago. This ain't, y'all, we didn't say this last year or the year before. We've been saying this for a long time, for what, at least 4 years. It's ruining the game. All these people on TV, you guys should have been the ones saying this first when it was going on. You shouldn't be trying to, step on the little guys that have smaller platforms and trying to eat off of them, because now people really starting to see everything for what it is. You can't no longer, pull the wool over people's eyes, because the ratings, nobody's watching it. Nobody cares about it. So again, now don't say this, because if you say this, I've been saying it for a long time, and this is the only thing that makes sense. How are these guys making these record-breaking contracts if nobody's watching it? Nobody's watching it. And this is basically the 2020s. We know the ratings, plummeted a lot in the 2010s, but especially in the 2020s, how are they making these record-breaking contracts and nobody's watching it? See, everybody's scared to say that, because that's bigger than anything. And what I mean by that, because if people really start investigating that and saying that, what it means is, are these guys really getting paid this money? Or are you telling us that these guys are getting paid this money so you can overcharge the fans? Right. And you can call me dumb and conspiracy, whatever you want to call me. But I can say, well, how come they got a podcast? How come they got to retire making hundreds of millions, 100 million, whatever they made in their career, and they got to go back to work and put on makeup and read from teleprompters? Then we go over Kendrick Perkins last year. The other day, he made like 100 million in his career or something like that, something close to it. This dude on TV talking about one day, I don't know all the way he said it, but he said something like, he was going at, I think he was going at LeBron, right? Because LeBron took him off his what was it, X or IG, whatever it was, one of them accounts. And he was going back. He said something about he need his job. He got to say what he got to say to keep his job. And I'm like, how much are they really paying you? Can just sit on that desk? You're not a good personality. You lie a lot. You're one of the top player in the NBA. How much are they really paying you compared to the tens of millions that you made in the NBA? Or did you really make that money? All these NBA players, these ex-NBA players, putting on makeup, being play-by-play guys, trying to get a head coaching job, got YouTube channels now. What happened to all the money? I'm not trying to say they don't have any. I'm not trying to say they don't have millions. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say, why would they be doing this if they already had tens of millions, and some of them should still have hundreds of millions, for real? And I look at it in the sense that to get through to you, not you having hundreds of millions, but in comparison, you retire from your job. Finally, it's time for the big day. You retired. You was waiting for this day. And guess what? Now you get Social Security. You get 401k. You got a pension. You got hundreds of thousands in the bank. Your car is paid off. Your house is paid off. But suddenly you get up and you start working again? Something ain't adding up, man. And we can make up all the excuses we want, like little children, because that's what the system is based on, making adults not think, making adults, kid-like, and thinking like little children. And we tell our children at some point, you got to grow up. You got to grow up. And the adults, they never grow up, because they take whatever is given to them. Just because these people are on TV, they're told not to think otherwise. Whatever these people say on TV is gold. How is ESPN and Amazon, all these other networks paying billions of dollars for a product that nobody is watching? Billions of dollars that nobody's watching. Tell me. Like Sports and Fitness Friend said, who the hell is wearing LeBron jerseys? Nobody wears LeBron jersey. I don't see nobody. When I was growing up, look, it wasn't just Michael Jordan's jersey, right? People walking around wearing Grant Hill's jersey, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic, Worthy, Bird, McHale, um, Larry Johnson, Scottie Pippen, you know, Karl Malone, Stacey Augman, name it, man. Name the guys. Alonzo Mourning, Allen Iverson, Mutombo, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton. I see dudes wearing Dell Curry jerseys. Elijah won, Clyde Drexler. It was like that, man. It was like that. The NBA was abundant as far as like people loving their stars. Everybody had a star, it seemed like. Even if it wasn't a top star, people wearing Muggsy Bogues jerseys, Tim Hardaway jerseys. It was like that, man. It was like, yeah, I'm going to get this Tim Hardaway jersey before somebody else get it. You don't see that now. How many people you see? Jaylen Brown supposed to have the biggest contract in NBA history and ain't even a top 5 player. And I don't even think he was top 10 last year. In the biggest contract in NBA history, he wasn't even a star on his team, the leader on his team, the face of his team. Who the hell is wearing Jaylen Brown jerseys? I never seen that. Maybe in Boston. But the jerseys that I'm talking about, you could go anywhere in the United States and people was not only wearing the jersey of their team, they were wearing jerseys of other teams. Just like the shoes, right? People was wearing Pippen shoes. People was wearing Grant Hill shoes. People was even wearing Shaq shoes back in the day. Larry Johnson shoes. It was like that, man. And these guys really couldn't even get paid back then. So that's just something to think about. I always thought about that. I'm like, man, how's these guys getting paid all this money? They don't come to work. Kawhi's scheduled to make like $50 million this year, next year, and the year after that. $50 million for sitting around. These guys are making how? So, okay, let's say if these guys are making all this money. Cool. So basically, they're pissing in the eyes of the fans, and the organizations, the teams are pissing in the eyes of the fans by these guys not showing up to work, these guys not playing defense, these guys not playing positional basketball, these guys not being competitive. These guys are podcasting instead of practicing. I'll tell you, this is why everybody's walking away. And if everybody's walking away, how are they making all this money? How are the teams making all this money to pay these guys? Are they taking a loss in revenue? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So they're the reason why the product is failing. But the employer says, good job. Not only here's more money, but here's even more money, record-breaking contracts. I don't know. You guys got to explain that to me, man, because nobody wants to talk about it. I guess I'm just by myself. I just don't know. To me, it's soon it's going to be like NHL, MLB. Yes, you're going to have your core fans, and that's it. And let me tell you something. The young people aren't supporting this. They're not watching it. They're not carrying it. They're not watching it. You know why? Because they have made it about stats. So young people, they wake up. They don't watch it. They just wake up and look at a stat line. Because it ain't even watchable in the first place. So they just wake up and look at a stat line. So that's all your viewership going down the drain. And then, the old heads, they don't want to watch it like that because we don't see it's not competitive. The referees aren't calling the game. They're traveling. They're carrying. That's another thing is how they making record-breaking contracts and they can't even play the game of basketball. You can go to your playground. I know I did when I was growing up. As soon as the dude carried and traveled, hey, hold on, wait, man. That's a travel. That's a turnover right there. You got to get the ball up. That's the carry. Nope. So these guys are making record-breaking contracts and they can't even play basketball? I'm just trying to figure these things out because they seem so simple. But yeah, they push the older fans away. The guys that like the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, they push us out the door. They said the people we watched were trash. They couldn't dribble. Um, they couldn't shoot. They didn't have no skills. So we're not watching it. Not like that. We're not watching it. So now you lost that viewership, and we see that as trash. We don't even really need you to say all that, but that was just like the cherry on the cake. But now you don't have that viewership, and now you don't have the younger viewership because you know made it about stats. So they're not going to watch it. And now the guy that you promote the most, LeBron James, since the 2020s, he's been on the West Coast. So the majority of the population is on the East Coast. And Joker's on the West Coast. Luka's on the West Coast. A lot of your big stars are on the West Coast. So you're not getting that East Coast viewership. You're not getting it. In the 90s, in much of the 80s, I would say much of the 80s especially, much of your great players were in the East. So you got a lot of viewership out of that. Nobody in the East wants to stay up until, 10 o'clock, 10:30 when the game starts on a weekday, and the game ends at like 12:30. That's ridiculous. Nobody's gonna no. Not for this. Not for the way they play. No way. And what about the younger viewers, right? Under 18. They're most of them are in bed by 10 o'clock. So they're not watching that. So the NBA is ridiculous, man. But tell me what you think.